what's coming up tonight on NewsCenter now. Maine breweries have gone global. Now they're sharing the wealth.
Also tonight, some concerning health news. It's been quite a while since we've heard about any cases of Legionnaire's disease, but CDC says an unusual number have cropped up in Bangor lately.
KPR just announced flights from Portland to Boston. Got me thinking, what's the carbon footprint of that and other ways to get down to Beantown? This is NewsCenter now.
Good Friday evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Mills.
And I'm Lee Nelson. So glad you're with us this evening. We'll begin with a bit of a health concern in the Bangor area. The Maine Center for Disease Control and Prevention says it's investigating a cluster of 6 Legionnaire's cases in that area, Bangor area.
Yeah, the Maine CDC says that's a rate higher than average for the region. Legionella is a type of bacterium found naturally in freshwater environments like lakes and streams. People can get sick when they breathe in mist or swallow water containing Legionella into their lungs. The bacteria can cause a serious type of pneumonia with symptoms such as a cough, shortness of breath, fever, and headaches. People should watch for symptoms for about a couple of weeks after exposure. The CDC says they are trying to find out if there is a common exposure among the Bangor cases or if they are just coincidental. Healthcare providers have diagnosed about 1 case of Legionnaire's each month in Maine since November 2018. All the individuals were hospitalized and 1 person with the illness died.
Yeah, the CDC wants the public to know, though, that Legionnaire's is not spread from person to person. Some other news we're following this evening. After days of political pressure, U.S. Labor Secretary Alex ACOSTA is stepping down. ACOSTA has been under fire for the way he handled a sex crimes case against a wealthy businessman, Jeffrey Epstein, more than 10 years ago now. At the time, ACOSTA was U.S. Attorney for Southern Florida. ACOSTA made that announcement to reporters this morning while, as you can see, standing next to President Trump outside the White House. Deputy Labor Secretary Patrick Pizzella will lead that department at least temporarily.
Singer R. Kelly has been arrested again, this time in Chicago on federal sex trafficking charges. He was just released on bail 5 months ago on separate sex abuse charges. This latest arrest comes after a 13-count indictment was handed up in federal court yesterday. The charges include child pornography, enticement of a minor, and obstruction of justice. Kelly has been dogged by sex charges for years, and he's always maintained his innocence.
Tropical storm Barry is expected to make landfall in Louisiana tomorrow, and already President Trump has declared a federal emergency for that state. The storm's outer bands are already affecting New Orleans. The National Weather Service says one of those bands passed over the agency's Slidell, Louisiana office earlier today, but the winds were just about 25 miles an hour. But apparently the wind is really not the issue with Barry, it's the rainfall. Forecasters say Barry could dump 10 to 20 inches of rain from New Orleans to Baton Rouge.
New England Patriots player Elandon Roberts is condemning treatment by a Texas sheriff's deputy heard on dashcam video, referring to Roberts as a, quote, big black male during a March traffic stop. The Fort Bend County deputy can also be heard telling a colleague that Roberts wouldn't comply with an order to get back into his car after the linebacker got out. We have much more on this story at our website and at our mobile app.
All right, let's talk about the weather now. It seemed to kind of slowly turn around as the day progressed. It's really sticky out there, though, huh?
Yeah, the air seems thick.
Yeah, really, really thick. Let's talk to Keith about this and other weather-related issues. Hello, Keith.
This just made me think, guys, I was thinking about this the other day. So doesn't humid air, hot humid air, feel heavier than...
It does.
No question.
It's the opposite, though.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Really?
So cold air is more dense than warm air. But
because heat rises.
Isn't that, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. But it's strange because doesn't it feel like sensibly feels the opposite.
Yeah.
Science and all this voodoo stuff. All right.